even though that hurts going down, you can't spit it out. You have to swallow it. That's the truth.
The truth is the Broncos are not in Santa Clara. That is the truth, and it hurts. I'm not going to lie, Coach. Mike Sanford, DMac. It's Altitude Football. Coacher and DMac show as we go everything through Broncos and the NFL, and we're all brought to you by Journey Spice, where if you use this QR code, my friends, you can save yourself 10% at Journey Spice at Amazon.com using the code 2026 playoffs. We love Journey Spice. We put it on damn near everything. More on our great friends at Journey Spice in just a little bit. It's organic. It's delicious. The packaging is amazing. Again, QR code, Journey Spice for life. Coacher, it does sting that the Broncos are not in San Francisco right now. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, there's a couple things, man. You can't spit it out, man. Like Sean is going to force us to swallow that.
Let's spit it out.
And there's nothing you can do about 4th and 1. There's nothing you can do that the Broncos have not invested in the play that it seems like everybody else that's deep in the playoffs has invested in, which is the tush push. Why not the tush push in a 4th and 1 scenario there? I don't know. Just something to ask. Maybe that's a Davis Webb conversation for a later date. We'll find out. But the other swallowing that we have to do, and I would recommend if you want to go out there and swallow, I would go and jump onto YouTube. Go to the Altitude SR and watch riveting radio today. Go 6 hours and 45 minutes into today's Altitude broadcast. It's the entire, I don't know if you know this, every single day is broadcast from literally Kaner with boogers in his eyes and my man Steve Nelson that's sitting there like, okay, all the way until, my man Andy Lindahl's voice is completely done for the day at the very end of the 6 o'clock hour, right? Today, we were at 12:45. We were blessed with AirPod Gate. Not Ankle Gate, but AirPod Gate. Vic Lombardi, man, that guy, he's got to take his AirPods out, man. You got to take out your AirPods.
Take those AirPods out.
So Vic is live from, I guess, Media Row at the Moscone Center in San Francisco, where consequently the Pro Bowl games are being played inside of a convention hall.
Yeah.
An exhibit hall in a convention center.
Correct.
It's a little bit different than the Hula Bowl and, or the Aloha Stadium in the heyday, right?
A little bit.
A little bit different. But he had his AirPods in, and my man TP did not like the AirPod game.
Did not like him.
Yeah. You know what's funny? Have you watched it back yet?
Oh, I'm never going to watch that ever.
Oh, no. You know what the funny part is? Actually Vic, at least on the YouTube, Vic's AirPods sounded decent. I mean, you were picking up a few extra little things in the background, but nothing like it sounded like he was at Media Row, right? But it wasn't that bad. But my favorite was the consequential small talk that kind of happened following it after Vic was basically told to get the hell off the air. One of the icons in really in American sports broadcasting. AirPods gone, and then small talk, and then what was my man Scotty Hastings humming in the background?
If I only had a brain from the Wizard of Oz.
Yeah, I love that. Who was he talking to? Was he talking to you?
I don't know. That was a interesting point of contention. Like, who was that actually being referred to? But
So AirPod Gate
could have easily been me.
Yeah, there are a lot of layers to AirPod Gate, and the most interesting part about it all is that Vic was actually not wearing AirPods. They're an off-brand. I don't know, some type of earbud gate,
like Beats. I got Beats right here.
Those are kind of cool.
Oh, they're very cool.
Well, yeah.
All right. Well, I'm glad you enjoyed yourself. If you want to see how the sausage is made. And that was poisonous sausage. You would never want to swallow that. That's out there for you. But the bigger ploy is we were trying to get an update from Vic. Watch how I transition into football in the Super Bowl. And really, the mission that he is on is to track down Sean Payton, who will be selling something. Right? He's got to be selling something. I mean, he's got to touch base with Kay Adams at some point and ask him. And this will be interesting, because Vic won't get a sit down with Sean, but what you get is the walk. So at Radio Row in the Super Bowl, There are some people that are next to each other, but in general, you got to walk sometimes quite a distance from one set to another. And it doesn't matter how many losers you walk past from Wichita or wherever. Actually, we love Wichita, but from, say, Fort Wayne, Indiana, I don't know, you just walk right past them because you're going from the Kay Adams set, coacher, to the NFL Network set, to the Dan Patrick set, to the CBS Sport. You know what I'm saying? And you will pass a lot of like slovenly dressed losers.
What's slovenly?
Just like I dress. You just look at it's just bad. Just you dress like shit. Basically.
So when I heard you use that term right before Vic was kicked off the airwaves today,
yes.
I heard slovenly. I thought it was like my mind was like Slavic, like Eastern European. I was hats and dressed to the nines and maybe like an unnecessary cane and maybe a zoot suit with pinstripes. That's
so
what I was.
You thought I was perhaps referencing that people dress like Borat.
Yes, like go over the top, over the top, but not Borat, as in the kind of the mankini. Not really that.
No, like
different outfit, not the neon green man thong.
Yeah. Like my wife in the village.
My wife
going on a trip. But the question that he could ask will be the walk. But you don't need a lot of time for this question. If you get Sean, you don't need a lot of time. It's a simple question. Who's calling the plays, coach? That's it. And you can frame it however you want. It's a short walk. But that's Vic's real mission this week. Now, it's cool. He talked with Patrick Surtain and Garrett Bowles, and congratulations to Garrett Bowles, won a humanitarian type of award.
Alan Page. Yeah, the Alan Page Award. I had a chance to meet Alan Page. He was a alum of one of the places I've coached at. I think it was Yale, maybe Stanford. I don't remember.
Wonderful. And what Garrett Bowles has done in the community should be mentioned and recognized. And can't say enough good things about Garrett Bowles. That's awesome. But that's an easy interview to get. No offense. He's not trying to be difficult, so it's easy to get, right? And you're at the Pro Bowl games, whatever the fuck that is, and you can probably even get Shedeur Sanders. I mean, he's there. I mean, it's no big deal. But can you get Sean Payton to tell you who's going to call the plays as he's walking from Kay Adams to Jim Rome? Can you get that done, Coach? Can that happen? And what would the answer to that question be?
I think it's going to be there'll be some really good if this opportunity arises, right? And I think Sean is going to know because, yes, he does have to walk from set to set, right?
Mm-hmm.
But he can also technically be protected. Like there could be 100 people that could ask him. Those Slavics, all this, the Bolsheviks that you were talking about that are dressed like Eastern Europeans.
Yes.
They could ask him for an interview and he doesn't have to accept. Am I right in saying that? He's not.
Required. Of course. I mean,
is there a world that exists that because that is the one burning question that certainly the people here in Denver want to know the answer to, maybe more than the national media really wants to know, although Kay Adams is probably going to ask the question, right?
Maybe.
I think she will.
It's so obvious. It's hard to imagine she won't. What do you think?
She always goes hard hitting, man. She does. And she does it.
She does it in a different way, but yes.
In a very different way.
Yeah. But she gets to the point eventually.
Oh yeah. I mean, I think she just makes it seem so much nicer than somebody that's Slavically dressed like you does,
Yeah. She asks hard-hitting questions in the world's nicest way. And sometimes she comes bearing voodoo donuts, which kind of help too.
Yeah.
What do you think the answer to the question is, though, from Sean's point of view? What do you expect it to be?
It's going to be filibuster nothing burger. That's what I anticipate because, man, I've lived this life. My guess is that nothing's been determined behind the scenes.
Okay.
And
hold on this. Do you think Davis Webb had other offers?
I think he had other
not interest.
I think offers. He had other possible.
That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking on paper offers, like
head coaching job.
No, offensive coordinator jobs.
Could have, yes, if he had gone down that road. But I think he was. And here's what happened, right? Is you? I've been there. I've been here. Not in the NFL, and in the NFL is different rules. College, there really are no rules except for what your contract kind of says. But everybody, kind of just pleads the fifth. I didn't talk to anybody. I don't talk to anybody. Pro's different, I think, certainly with the official nature because of the Rooney rule, which I have a completely other take on. I think it's become almost become a slap in the face of many of the candidates that are interviewing via the Rooney rule. I think it's disturbing. Actually, I hate what it's done. Not to hiring practices in general, not to DEI and all that stuff. That's not what the Ronald Currys of the world and the Brian Johnson, who I know well. My dad coached in Utah. I'm like, why are we doing this? It's just it's a charade. Anyway, especially when only how many black coaches were hired?
Zero.
Head
coaches, zero.
I think one coordinator, maybe, right? One coordinator.
I don't even know. You could be right.
I know two black head coaches were either fired or resigned, retired, whatever.
No,
right?
it's embarrassing.
It's not good. But that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about what Davis Webb had. And what I would say is having been in those situations, you can feel like there are a lot of opportunities that you have that you're kind of riding high. I got leverage. Oh boy. And then the old timeline starts ticking, right? And it's like, oh boy, okay, that's getting a little tight. Oh, that job over there, that head job looks like it might be going to Kubiak.
Right.
Ooh, they're going to wait for that. That's not it. Because I actually think the Raiders job is a good job right now. I think it's a really good job right now.
It could be.
I think it's a really good job with a guy named Fernando Mendoza, who
I know it's on Mark Davis, whether it could be or not. We'll see what he does on it, but it's shaping up to be that way.
I mean,
shaping up
wise, it has a chance to be better than it's been for sure.
Yep.
It's not the New York Jets, right? It doesn't appear to be the New York Jets.
It's so dependent on if Mark Davis is going to screw it up or not. But they have, with the cap space and draft picks, it's ridiculous what it could be.
Yeah. You get the quarterback. You get the once in a generation quarterback, and that's Fernando.
You got him. He's staring you in the
right
face.
there for the taking.
Yep.
With his Legos and dinosaurs that he plays with and everything.
All of that.
Eats the heads off of and all that stuff. But
whatever
he does. Davis Webb may have had other opportunities as an offensive coordinator. I am guessing that he had zero bird in hand.
Well, the reason I bring this up is because that leverage is going to make a massive difference whether he's calling the plays or not.
100%.
If he literally had another offer on the table and he turned it down, he would have had to be given a promise of something.
So then you saw the reports today? U Stadium or whatever. It's an account on X, right? Did you see this?
I don't know.
Okay, so I'll give you kind of the best of my ability. There's this website called it's an X account called U Stadium, and it is implied, or they made the statement that he turned down 4 other play calling opportunities in the National Football League,
wow.
and as a result, Sean Payton is more likely to yield at least part of the play calling responsibilities. But
where are they getting that from? Where are their sources, brother?
I don't know who U Stadium is, to be perfectly honest. So it's like,
well, I mean, if that's the case, he's clearly going to call plays.
Yeah. So here's the exact. So U Stadium, I'll give you. I always look at this. Okay, they have 62.4 thousand followers. Okay, yeah, maybe.
Right.
That's 20,000 more than I got. Right.
It's less than I have, but go ahead.
Not that I'm counting, but
I am.
Yeah, well, that's good. Good for you. The question that U Stadium says is, how badly did Sean Payton want to keep new OC Davis Webb? Source told us he, quote, fought like hell for Webb to stay, promised him more in the way of play calling participation and a sizable raise in pay per source. At least 4 teams offered full control of their offense to Webb. He chose to stay at least one more year in Denver.
Okay. Interesting. That makes a lot of sense. It's the intent for play calling responsibilities without the promise.
Correct.
But it comes with cash and
right.
And for at least a year, comfortability.
Correct.
And with Sean having 2 years left on his contract, if you're Davis Webb and you're a smart man and a little patient, let's see if Sean gets a new contract. See how that goes. I think it's a brilliant move by Davis Webb, frankly, no matter what.
I do
and too. It sets him up, I think, in the best possible situation to become a head coach before he's 35, which is unbelievable.
And all you got to look at right now, this hiring cycle took on much more of a Sean Payton tree type of a hiring cycle.
Yep.
You got to think about Joe Brady, the guy that he talked about at his press conference the most was not Sean McDermott, was not Matt Rule, who hired him as a coordinator at 31 years old at Carolina for the Panthers. Hell, it wasn't even Ed Orgeron. And what he did with Tigers, go Tigers. Because that was Joe Brady's. That was his first show, man. He mentioned the name Sean Payton often at his presser. And that's the guy that he's building this thing after. And guess what he did? He went out and got his D coordinator, from the Broncos, the current Broncos, and Jim Leonard. And he goes out and gets his offensive coordinator and longtime Sean Payton lieutenant, Pete Carmichael Jr. And that's who he's going to roll with. That's who he's going to operate with. So,
all right. This is a quicker show, but Coach, from Goodell's press conference, what'd you like the most? What'd you like the least?
I was working my day job, so I'd love to hear.
Okay, you're a little behind. All right, I'll give it to you.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I turn around on myself.
But you know what's good about that? You know what I proved right there? I don't make stuff up.
I appreciate that
because I'm just going to kill you with truth.
You always do. What I like the most, I've said a million times throughout my sports broadcasting career. Sports should be played as if it was invented yesterday. In fact, I know a certain high school coach at Valor Christian High School who has used technology with simple things like microphones and speakers to communicate, drones to look at practice. And you are using and have used and will continue to use whatever technology you have available to give you the best advantage possible. Yep. Correct?
Correct. I'm very much in that space right now with video AI recognition technology, top speed, max velocity. I'm doing a lot of research right now actively and working with products as such.
It's interesting. And I don't know how much you'll get into like drive line and baseball analytics when it comes to throwing a football, but we all know Tom House has combined both of those worlds. And that is, baseball would be lost without it. That being said, Roger Goodell said they're going to lean into AI stuff. And I think that's great. I think reviewing and I think replay assist is incredible. I think it's fast. It's amazing. It's been great. I think you can do more with it.
But what happened on the tush push with Josh Allen, where the camera angle above Josh Allen appeared that the football didn't really get close to getting past the line.
One thing, they want to use more AI stuff for stuff like that, okay. And maybe that is because putting a sensor in a ball seems ridiculous. But what if through AI you could separate everybody else out of a picture and you could simply see where a point of contact was made with the knee and where the ball literally is, and nobody else was in the picture? What if you could do that?
We could do that. We know that right now. You know how I know that? If I showed a picture of Mark Mosier standing at an Avs game, broadcasting on Altitude TV or Altitude Plus, I could ask Grok or whoever he is.
Take everybody out.
No, I could say, put Mark Mosier in a bikini.
Oh, gosh.
And we would see Mark Mosier in a bikini. So you mean to tell me they can't remove everybody else from the picture immediately and show us where the football is?
And I think that's what Goodell is referring to, that there'll be technologies where they can remove everything else from the screen aside from the person that they're interested in. Another possibility that he brought up, which I love, is either you can throw a challenge flag or replay assists, by the way, on pass interference. And I'm a big fan of that as well. So
are we going to start going in like 1/100th? I mean, there's got to be a threshold, I think, for how slow we're because you're losing.
Dial it in.
I think you start to lose context.
Again, we'll figure that out. But you got to start with are we going to do this or not first?
Yeah.
And then you go from there. We can figure out the minutia, but in general, would it be good to have a objective review on pass interference?
Yeah, it would be.
Okay. Then you go from there.
And I think it's got to be like the words have to be like clear and probable, either way, right? To either, to overturn it, right? It's got to be clear, indecisive, I guess, maybe.
The technology is going to get better.
Yeah.
It's just going to keep getting better. Anyways, that was a real positive thing that I heard him talk about. I love the international games because they're going to go to 18. They're going to go to 18 games, and Goodell is going to get every team to play abroad. The Broncos likely will be spending some time in Mexico, maybe even this year. They haven't been in Mexico in a long time, but they're getting the field set up for the World Cup. So it's going to be better theoretically, right? So I like all that. And the one thing that's important.
Won't the World Cup have already been played though?
Well, yeah, but because
You're saying that the infrastructure will be obviously ready.
Correct. Yeah. Right. Like it's been a mess
The World
down
Cup's
there
this summer, right?
Yes.
This summer.
It's in North America.
Yeah. So there's like 2 venues in Canada, a bunch in the United States, and I think 3 in Mexico, maybe.
You're killing me with details. It's something like that.
Well, I like the beautiful game, man. I'm sorry. I
understand. Sometimes you have a beautiful mind.
Well, the rest of the world likes the beautiful game too, which is
focus football. And finally,
take your AirPods off.
The press conference itself is a drag because it's so controlled. It used to be a free-for-all. It was awesome. I asked the commissioner 3 big questions. One, have you taken a test for marijuana? Because that was a big issue at some point.
Von Miller, right?
Well, we were suspending a lot of players for like smoking weed, which was just dumb. Yep. I'm not advocating for weed, but weed's not a performance-enhancing drugs. It's recreational.
What did he say?
He said he had been drug tested for marijuana, and it was got a big response. I also asked him when the concussion stuff was going on, and it was really kind of wild. This is long. I said, are there any circumstances that exist that you would be fired? And he said no, which was a fun one. And then years before it came to fruition, I said, when are you going to step in and do something about Broncos ownership that's gotten out of hand? Isn't it your responsibility to make sure you guide these teams along? And this has gotten out of hand. And that got a lot of attention too, to the degree that Mike Silver on NFL Network, who I had a beef with at the time, kind of ripped me a new one about what a stupid question. He later, and we made up, me and Mike Silver.
Send you ice cream?
We did not send me ice cream, but we had a nice chat and we hashed it out. And I like him. I do like Mike Silver. So we hashed it out and we're friends now. But there was a time when one of my questions was destroyed by Mike Silver on NFL Network. You don't get those moments anymore with the commissioner because it's too tightly wound up. So you leave all of that out, which is what the NFL gets to do. Why, Coach? I am convinced more than ever, and this will be the last thought, the NFL is bulletproof. Bulletproof.
Tough one.
No matter what issues have occurred with the NFL, think about it. Taking a knee, all that stuff. Concussions, drugs, violence. You name the issue.
Gambling.
It's bulletproof.
Yep.
It just grows. It gets more popular. And the game just gets better and better and better. It's insane. There's not been one issue over 30 years that has ruined the NFL. It continues to grow. Why is that?
Because it's the best sport to consume without question in North America. It's the biggest, it's the cleanest product out there that has violence. It has gladiatorial aspects to it. And the pageantry, pomp and circumstance of it is just it's unlike anything else. And the game itself is way more exciting, way more entertaining, way more storylines. It's a telenovela in real time that happens over the course of a very, very long, arduous season that is inevitably going to be riddled with a ton of adversity for each and every team. We lived it here. Did we not? Did we not have a Shakespearean-like ending to your 2025-26 Broncos campaign?
Game of Thrones, baby.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't even see it coming.
Yep. DMac, let me ask you this in light of Roger Goodell's press conference.
Yeah.
Rewind it, say we're back in the good old days. Yeah. DMac's out. DMac's there, full head of hair, nice and svelte. Weighs 155 pounds and, 3.9% body fat. But it's 2026 and everything that's currently going on in the National Football League.
Yeah.
What would be the one DMac banger that you would have asked this year?
That's such a good question. I'm trying to take this seriously. I could say a lot of flip things like,
like something that when are you holding
the consolation parade for the bitter Bills fans? But that's a great freaking question. What would the question be? You know what? I'm a little stumped. Because what issues really exist right now that are not that big of a deal?
It's really not much.
The sport it's in as good of shape right now as it's ever been. It was in a rough spot with the concussion stuff. I'm not going to lie, because
I was worried about my livelihood at any level that I could coach.
But they're through that. They're through that. And
Should the high school game is growing like wild, like it's going like crazy here in the state of Colorado.
So much smarter with concussions, how to practice, guardian caps, the way they check things out for safety. It's never going to be perfect. It's football. Guys are going to get hurt, but it's a way safer game. By the way, kickoffs, they fixed it. It still looks weird, but there's more returns. It's safer overall. And it's a more interesting play. They actually fixed it. I can't believe it.
Roger.
Yeah.
Excuse me, Roger.
Yes, go ahead. You. Soon to be fired coach. Yes.
Is there any possible way that you can explain both Bill Belichick and Robert Kraft not being inducted as first ballot Hall of
I'm
Famers?
Roger. I want to answer this. They got what they deserved. You know what? You want to play loose with the rules of the NFL, you might have to sit on the bench for a year. And that's the way it goes. Also, Mr. Kraft, not real fond of your extracurricular activities down there in strip malls. Not a big fan of it. So,
excuse me, Roger. Roger, can I have a follow-up? Can I get a follow-up?
Sure. Soon to be fired again. What?
Did the majority of those events occur under your watch overseeing the National Football League?
Sure did. And I'm going to sit here and drink a sarsaparilla on the sideline with you while we all wait for this bad stuff to go away. Anything else?
Mr. Goodell, how are you now a revisionist history major that's now standing very firm in some consequence for some people that frankly didn't really ever lose their jobs?
You know what? I make $40 million a year, and what I realized, I don't have to talk to you anymore.
There's a world of flavor out there, and to find it, you have to take the journey. Journey Spice Company handcrafts the most premium spice and seasoning blends that have no sugar, no salt, are certified USDA organic, non-GMO, vegan-friendly, and always planet-friendly. You are going to love serving amazingly delicious creations while knowing you helped reduce single-use plastics. Make sure to search for Journey Spice Company on Amazon today.